Welcome back student, this is last lecture on EMI. So in this lecture we are learning the instruments. We have two, one is transformer, one is what your generator or a dynamo. Okay, so first we will talk about transformer. Let's start. Okay, first let me tell you, transformer name is misleading actually. Transformer, it doesn't transform anything. Okay, first it doesn't transform anything, it's actually just regulate your voltage. You give some input voltage, it can increase that input voltage and or it can decrease the input voltage right now. So it just can regulate the voltage, doesn't transform anything. So its name is misleading, so remember that it doesn't transform anything. What it do, it just you regulate your voltage right now, voltage, or you can say current also right now. It can increase decrease your voltage, but what happens, suppose you are increasing the voltage, but this happens, this increase or decrease in voltage happens at the compensation of what current. You want to increase your voltage, suppose output voltage increase, then output current will what reduce. So we use another word like it's not an amplifier. Remember semiconductor, we have learned our transistor can work as an amplifier. They can give what gain. They can, like you 10 voltage supplying, it can give what 100 output volt, right? They gives a gain actually. This guy is not like a your amplifier also, it doesn't amplify anything. Okay, so it doesn't has any gain also. Let write this also, that is very important. It cannot amplify like a transistor, keep in mind. Yes, transistor can amplify your input voltage, keep in mind. Okay, it can increase the input voltage, but this guy doesn't do it. This also can increase the input voltage, but at the compensation of what your current. Okay, yes, so it cannot amplify like a transistor. Okay, remember. Also this works only on AC current, works only on what, AC, correct na? It works on AC, not on what, DC. We supply DC, it will not work, it will give the output at 0. I will show you how. Okay, let's see, we will talk working principle of this. Okay, principle. What's the working principle of this transformer? Mutual induction we have learned right now. What is mutual induction? You have two coils, okay, or two windings. If flux is changing in the one winding, then EMF is induced what in next winding. So this is called mutual induction. Same thing will happen here. There will be two winding, one is input, one is output. In input, what happen, current will be changing, means flux will be changing. That flux will be linked with what, the secondary. So EMF will be induced in the secondary. Okay, so what is this? In short, I am writing just mutual induction is the working principle. Okay, yes. How we write symbol of this actually? Full construction I will talk. Simply write just two windings we saw. This is the input winding. Okay, this output winding, and we draw two parallel lines. Why we draw two parallel lines? We assume that the full flux is linked between these two coils. This is the input, also called primary. This is called what, secondary. Okay. Remember, we learned a small relation that mutual inductance is equal to K times the root L1 L2. Parallel means K is what, your 1. Full flux is linked between what, primary and secondary. Okay, in real how is looks construction, look here. This is a symbol only, construction we will talk. So it consists of two parts mainly. Okay, one is called core, one is called windings. Okay, so I am talking here. First okay, let me draw picture first. Okay, so this is called your core of the transformer. Okay, core of the transformer. So core is actually what, let me write here. The core is what, is made up of what, very very thin, very very fine sheets of what, soft iron. Okay, is made up of what, it's not like a thick material. Okay, it's made up of very very fine sheets of what, soft iron, and which are laminated, okay, completely, and we stack them what, together. Very very fine sheet of what, soft iron we are using. Why we need soft iron? Because we need a core of a material which has what, high permeability. Okay, so that maximum flux is linked. Okay, it can transfer maximum flux from this side to that side. So okay, let me write few words here. Okay, I am writing here, your core is made up of, okay, fine sheets of soft iron, correct na? Made up of what? Many fine sheets are there of soft iron and which are laminated, okay. We do laminations. Why we do laminations? Because of there is a loss happens, it's called eddy current loss. I will talk about this separately, okay. Yes, so which are laminated and stacked together, correct. Very fine, so not one thick material, okay. Very fine sheets of soft iron is there. They are laminated, each sheet is laminated from next sheets, okay, each other, and they are, we just stack them together. So that's called what? Your core, okay. Soft iron using, I told you, we need what? A material for high magnetic permeability, okay. We need core should be made up of material which has what? High magnetic permeability, okay. So soft iron is that one, okay. Then we have what? Windings. So there are two windings. These are made up of copper. One is on input side, one is on output side. So this is called also called primary winding. Then this is called what? Is secondary winding. In secondary we have load connected here, okay, output, and here we have input and AC source will be connected here, right? Correct. So how many turns we have on primary? That's called what? N primary. How many number of turns we have? That's called what? N secondary. How much voltage is supplying? That's called E primary. How much output voltage you getting? That's called E secondary. How much input current you have? That's I primary. How much output current? That's called I secondary, right? No? Okay. So second part of component of transformer is called what? Windings. So windings are made up of copper material. They also are insulated from each other and insulated from core also, okay. They are not in physical electrical contact, okay. Yeah, they are insulated from each other. Windings, cores, everything, okay. Windings made up of copper. They are made up from copper, and what happens? Insulated again from each other and core also, okay. So you have two type windings that you can see. One is called primary, one is called secondary, right? So the symbol is showing that this is a primary winding, a secondary winding, and a parallel means flux is linked, fully flux is linked between these two, okay. Now let's talk mathematics now, okay. Mathematics talk when we say two things we can say. Once we can say ideal transformer. Ideal transformer is there is no loss of energy happening, full flux is linked. So efficiency we talk is what? 100%, right? That's called ideal transformer. So ideal transformer we use a word that's called what? Transformation ratio. Transformation ratio. We write a case symbol for this, or also called turn ratio. Also called what? Turn ratio also. Okay. So K is nothing but it's a ratio of number of secondary turns by number of the primary turn. How many turns you have of this coil or winding in secondary to what? Primary. This ratio is called what? K. And this K will tell you that whether this voltage increasing, output voltage is more than input or less than input, okay. Okay. So this is also equal to what? Your simply output voltage by input voltage, or E secondary by E primary also, right? But opposite to what? Current? I primary by what? I secondary. Watch it carefully. Transformation, how you can write? Number in secondary by number in primary, output voltage by input voltage, okay. Voltage is secondary by voltage primary, but opposite of this what? Current in the primary by current in secondary, because I told you this guy doesn't transform anything. It's just what? Like increase your voltage, then at the loss of what? Your current. Voltage, output voltage increase, then current will what? Reduce, okay. So this is a ratio comes, okay. This is for what? An ideal transformer. So from here we can say two type of transformer. So if you say something called step up transformer, so everybody knows step up transformer is what? Output voltage is what? More step up, right? Yes. So step up transformer is called what? If what? Your K is what? More than 1. This is called step up transformer. Means what? You say number of your output voltage, okay, your E secondary is more than E primary, okay. This will happen when K is more than 1, means number of the turn in secondary are more than primary, okay. What's actually it's very simple. Suppose you want to input, you're giving some input voltage of V and you want double output voltage right now. You're giving 10 volt, you want 20 volt output. So what you do, just here you put some number of turn and here you put just double number of the turn. You will get what? Double voltage output. But at the same time what happens? Your input current will be reduced. Suppose here input is supplying 1 ampere, then output will now becomes what? Half ampere only, okay. Yes. So voltage increasing at the compensation of what? Your current. This is called step up or step down, and opposite of this. If your K is less than 1, then E secondary will be what? E less than primary, number of turn also you can say. Okay. This is for what? Your ideal transformer. Let's talk real transformer. In exam numerical they are asking all the time real transformer. Okay. A real transform is what happens because the efficiency is not 100%, there is always loss happens. Okay. So efficiency you saying is not equal to what? 100%. So then we write here efficiency formula. What is efficiency? We know that power out by power in into 100. This is called efficiency. Power also called voltage into current. So power output we can write what? E secondary into I secondary by input power we can call E primary into I primary into what? 100%. This question they have asked 3 times based on this direct simple formula. We will discuss numerical once I finish this theoretical things. Okay. So no problem. Yes, real transformer. Okay. Apart from this, we will talk small point. Okay. One theory question was asked about like losses in the transformer. Okay. Just so look here. I am writing here small point, losses in transformer. What losses you have in transformer? Okay. I don't know whether this will be visible to you or not, but I wrote heading what here? Losses in a transformer. Okay. So 4-5 losses we have. So one loss is called copper loss. What is copper loss? These windings are made up of copper and current is flowing through them. So when we know that when current flows through resistance, what happens? It will produce heat, I square RT, Joule's law of heating, right? So when current is flowing through this winding, your primary winding, secondary both windings, heat will be produced. So there is loss of energy in terms of what? Heat. So that's called your copper loss. So what is copper loss? Loss due to heat generation, right now? In windings, correct na? Yes, that only. H is equal to what? I square RT, call it Joule's law also, right now? Yes, so when current is flowing through these windings, what happens? They have some resistance, yes they have. So heat will be produced, so it will cause loss of energy. That's why your transfer efficiency is not 100% because some energy is always lost. Okay, yes. Okay, same way we have what? Something called iron loss. Iron loss, okay. Your core is made up of iron, you know, right? And I said that what happens again, current is there. So what happens when we have thick sheets, we have sheets, okay. In sheets what happens? Eddy currents are produced. I will talk separately also what is eddy current, okay. Just I am saying right now. So what happens? Eddy currents are produced inside what? Core. So that also causes loss of your heat. Same loss only, I square RT. This is a loss. I should write like probably like heat loss. That also heat loss only. Heat loss due to what? Formation of eddy currents in what? Core of the transformer. Okay, eddy currents are formed inside the core of the transformer. That will also cause the loss of heat. Same formula, I square RT. Okay, yes. I will talk separately what is eddy current. Okay, let me just write. Okay, third. What happens? Remember in last chapter magnetic effect of current, we learned a topic is called magnetic hysteresis. When you make electromagnet, what you do? You take a magnetic material, then you put inside a solenoid, you give current. Okay, so whatever magnetic field is produced, it get magnetized in one direction. Then what we give? We reduce current and give in opposite direction, then it get demagnetized, right? So remember the property we have learned that due to repeated cycles of magnetizing and demagnetizing, the magnetic material loses its what? Magnetic properties. That is called what? Magnetic hysteresis. Okay, so that loss also happens here. So third loss I am writing here, magnetic hysteresis. I am writing spelling wrong, I think. Hysteresis, right? Okay, I think correct only. Okay, magnetic hysteresis. What is this? This is a loss in the magnetic properties of this core due to the repeated cycles of what? Magnetization and demagnetization. Okay, I am writing here loss in the magnetic properties, okay, of core due to what? Repeated cycles of what? Magnetization and demagnetization. Okay, Okay, write it. These are the three losses we done, right? Apart from this, what we assume that whatever flux linked with this, suppose flux with primary is what, P flux with secondary is, then always assuming that they are equal, okay? Full flux is linked parallel, okay? K is what, 1, but in real it's not true. Some flux is always lost, full flux is not linked, okay? So fourth loss we call is called what, flux leakage. So some loss happens due to flux leakage because flux with secondary is not equal to what, with primary, okay? Okay, flux linked with secondary is not equal to primary, okay, due to what, flux losses, okay, flux leakage you can say. Yes, some flux is leaking, is not equal. Okay, there's a fourth loss. There is one more loss, that's called sound loss. You have seen the transformer, okay, in the straight pole lights, the transformer is there. So there is always a humming noise they're producing right now. So some energy loss due to what, that sound, okay, because sound also energy only, okay. So that loss is called sound loss. There is a technical name for this, is called magnetostriction. It's just like looking like what, magnetic friction, correct na? Yes. So what happens? It's vibrating right now. It's vibrate, air particles and that core, they all are vibrating. So it produces what, humming noise. So that also causes loss of energy. Okay. So it's called sound loss or magnetostriction, loss of energy in terms of what, sound, correct na? So some humming noise is produced, you know. That also cause of some loss of your energy, right? Okay. So these were the losses. One word that came here is called, I told you, AD currents, okay. So what are AD currents actually? AD currents. Okay, similar to what your induced current. What? Induced current. When we talk induced current, we talk about like wires and these things, right? And we talk AD currents is what? We talk about sheets. You have metal sheets, large sheets, thick sheets. Then what happens? And some flux is changing with them, then what happens, currents are produced, and these currents are what, circular currents, okay. So they cause what, just loss of heat only, loss of your energy only, right. So these are what, AD currents, circular currents, okay, produced in large or you say thick metal sheets. These will cause what, loss of energy. So they are producing thick metal sheets. So I told you, no, like what I told you, this core, look at the core, is made up of fine sheet. Why making fine sheets? So if thick sheet is there, then large AD currents will produce. So in order to reduce this AD currents, what we use very, very thin sheets and laminate them from each other, right now. So AD currents are reduced. So actually, if somebody asks you, like how to reduce AD currents, then what you do, you say make very fine sheet. Answer is here actually, very fine sheet and laminate from each other, right now. That's a way to reduce your AD currents. So AD current cause what, loss of energy. So it has disadvantage, but it has advantage also. There are many applications where you use AD currents. If you talk applications, you should know where we use like AD currents. Remember induction furnace. Induction furnace. In industries, we want to melt some material, then we use like this type of like our solenoid type of like a coil. We pass current to that, so huge heat is produced. We put that material inside that solenoid and we can melt it. So use in induction furnace. Also use in braking system also. Okay, it's called magnetic braking. Okay, braking system also we use this. Okay. So it has some advantage also, okay, not always disadvantage. Disadvantage is what, is cause loss of your energy, right? How to avoid the losses, how to reduce AD currents, this is the method. You take fine sheets and what, laminate them from each other, okay. Okay, so this was all about what your transformer. And once more I am telling you, this is very important, this question was asked in exam. This works on AC only. Suppose here you connect a battery or DC, then output will be directly 0, okay, mind it. Okay. So I will do questions on this. Before that, we do this one more small topic. That's what your generator or dynamo. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so we talking now about your generator or dynamo. Okay. Okay, let's see first what is this. So again, name is misleading. Okay, generator, it doesn't generate anything. What this device do? This device actually transform. Okay, because generator what do? We supply what? Mechanical energy. Okay, and it convert that mechanical energy in terms of what? Electrical energy. So this guy is really transforming, but his name is what? Generator. It doesn't generate. Okay, what it do? Okay, let's write here. What's the job of this guy? Think. What is the work of this? To transform, what it can do? It transform your mechanical energy to what? Electrical energy. Okay. So it's not generating anything. Keep in mind. This is transforming. Okay. So it used to transform. It can transform mechanical energy. Okay. To what? Electrical energy. Okay. What is the working principle? Principle is what? Your periodic EMI, electromagnetic induction. Okay, if you want to, if I say in few words, then how I'll say that when if you have a coil, okay, any coil you have, and you put inside a magnetic field and you rotate this, means you have coil, you have magnetic field, and you rotate this, you move that, then what? EMF is induced, motional EMF we simply calling right now. So that's what is also called periodic EMI, electromagnetic induction only. Okay, yes. So now look here. Okay, work you understood, you used to transform mechanical energy to electrical energy, and working principle is your EMI only, electromagnetic induction. Or if you want to write in words, what you will write here, that when a current, when a coil is placed inside a magnetic field and is rotated, then what happens? EMF will induce in that coil. Okay, yes. So we have two types actually. Okay, we have two types. One is called AC generator or dynamo, one is called what? DC generator. Construction is almost same, there's small difference only. Okay, yes. You can get AC current as output, you can get DC current also. Small difference. What's the difference? How we take the output from that machine, that's only difference. So here we use something called what? Slip rings. Slip rings. Here we use what? Split rings. Okay, I will explain what they are with help of diagram. Okay, so let me teach you first what you want to learn. DC. Okay, let's call DC generator first. Okay, what happens? First we have a coil, armature we call it. This is a coil. Okay, this is a coil. Okay, I'm just showing one wire. There are a lot of wires are there. Okay, and they are placed inside magnetic field. It may be permanent magnets or some electromagnets. Say this is north pole, that's south pole. So this is a magnetic field directions. Okay, yes. Now this coil is what? Rotated about this line. Okay, middle line. We are rotating this. Keep in mind. Okay, it's rotated like that way. Okay, yes. So how many components here? Oh, this is called armature. Okay, it's made up of copper wires again. Okay, magnetic field that's produced by permanent magnet or electromagnet also. And now we have some rings, slip ring and split ring. So we are talking DC, so it's called split ring. Like circular one ring you have, you break into what? Two pieces, equal pieces, that's called like split ring. Okay, one ring you have, you split it into what? Two part. Then one ring you connect here in contact with this side, and other is in contact what? That side. Two half rings you have taken. Okay, and with help of some carbon brushes, because they are rotating, so we need a material which has high. Look here, these are carbon brushes, and you connected them to what? Your output load. This is your output. Correct. So this is called what? These half ring hydroids called what? Your split rings. And these are what? Your carbon brushes. Okay, like graphite, okay, brushes to take your output current. So current will flow something here like that. Suppose you're rotating in some direction, okay. Very simple working, okay. So this key coil is rotating, current flow is always in one direction because they are in contact here. You see, this is a one complete loop, okay. Yes. Now, actually, if you see DC AC generator, what's the difference only? Generator. That was DC. Everything is same. Just last part only you have to change. So again, you have armature. Let me draw it. Again, this is what magnetic field. So everything is same, only just these rings which you're taking your output, they have to change, okay. So how they look now? So again, this is rotated about this line. We are spinning this coil inside magnetic field. So EMF is induced. Now what happens? We use two full rings. One ring here. Again, I'm trying to show is 3 dimensions. Not looking. I'm not good at drawing. This is a one ring. That's what another ring. So what happens? This time alternately they will contact, okay, alternatively. Suppose one time for half time brushes are in contact with this ring, okay, connected to our output or load RL. In next half cycle they will be connected to what, this ring, this brushes. These are what, carbon brushes, right? Same thing only. So for half time, like half rotation they will contact with this ring, then the next half rotation they will contact with what, this ring. So direction of current in your output, once it will in this direction, then one will in that direction. So you will get as AC output. Here always they are connected with same only, so you will get always one direction current only, okay. That's the only difference, okay. Now for exam point of view, what they asked to us is a small numerical to you. We know flux is what, NBA cos theta, right? Correct. Because here we talk in terms of always angular frequencies, theta we can write what, omega t, because angular frequency will talk here, frequency of rotation always talk. So we want to know how much EMF is induced here. So EMF is what, minus d phi by dt. So in case of this, what changing? Angle changing, number of turn of the coil not changing, magnetic field not changing, area also not changing. So what changing? Just angle with respect to your magnetic field is changing, right? So angle changing. So we differentiate when this equation here we getting, look here, minus n b a r constant, cos theta differentiation becomes what, sine omega t and omega outside, right? So you can write minus n b a omega and sine omega t. This is what EMF generated, right? Yes. So this term is called your maximum EMF. Somebody asks you what is E max generated, then what is the answer? N, B, A and omega. Omega is what, your angular frequency. What is omega? Angular frequency. Omega also equal to what, 2 pi f or 2 pi by t. This you already know, correct? So this equation you can also write what, EMF generated is equal to what, some maximum EMF into what, sine omega t. This is called equation of AC. That we will learn in our next chapter, AC chapter, okay. AC chapter will be based on what, this equation, because this is what AC equation, okay. Yes, okay. So what they can ask in exam is this much only. They can ask you that what is EMF generated, they can give angle, or they can ask you maximum EMF. Maximum EMF is this much maximum EMF, because when sine theta is what, sine is what, 1, this is maximum EMF. So they can ask you maximum EMF directly, you can write, I wrote it here, right, or this is the equation format, okay. So this was all about what, your, okay. One point I forgot to tell you, for transformer, what benefit we have from transformer, okay. It's very bulky and very big in size as compared to like your transistor and these things. What is that? There is no moving part in what, your transformer. There are no moving part, everything is fixed. Moving part means what? There is no friction, right now. So these parts can work for long period, right now. They doesn't get damaged, okay. Okay. So this was all about what? Your two device, transformer and generator. Now I can discuss some numericals mainly based on what a transformer. After this, then we will be done with this chapter, okay. Yes. Okay, we have few questions. Let's see based on transformer. Okay. Question number 1. A transformer is used to light a 100 watt 110 volt lamp from a 220 volts mains. Transformer used to light some output, your device that's given a bulb something of this much watt power and voltage given. So this is your output voltage we need, and supply to the transformer is how much given, 220 volt. If the main current is 0.5 ampere, find the efficiency of the transformer. Efficiency, what is the efficiency? P out by P in into 100, right? Percentage efficiency. P out is what? ES, IS, sorry, yes, correct, only E primary, I primary into what? 100. This also, okay. Now what we know, look here. Output, how much voltage we need is already we know much. We need 100 watt as power, right? Now output power we know, P out we know. So we need P in we need. So look here. Watch carefully, your input voltage given, this is voltage we can supply to transformer, then transformer output it will give what, 110 for our lamp, and the main current, input current also given, how much given, 0.5 ampere, they are asking efficiency. So look here, what is the answer? Efficiency will be, this output power, P out, directly given how much, this much, 100, done, correct, okay, then input power is what? So input voltage and input current given. Input voltage given 220, yes 220, okay, and current is given what? 0.5 into what? 100. So this becomes how much? You can cancel like 10 by 11 into what? 100. So this approximately comes what? 90%. Okay, yes, okay. Let's see second question. The number of the turns in the primary and secondary of a transformer are given 50 and what? 1500. Number of turns are given to you. The flux linked with the primary is given by some equation given. Phi is equal to phi naught plus 40, where phi naught is a constant. Find the voltage across the secondary. Okay, two things are given. Number of primary is given 50, number of secondary is given 1500. You have understood the step of transformer. Flux linked with primary is given what? Phi naught plus 40. So they are asking what is the output voltage? What is the voltage across secondary? So let's find what is the input voltage. So input voltage directly not given, but what is given? Flux equation given. We know that when we differentiate this, we will get our EMF, because E is what? Minus d phi by dt. So let's find E primary. What is the input voltage? Okay. We differentiate this, what we will get? Phi naught is a constant, get cancelled, so we just get minus 4. 40 difference is what? Just 4 only. So input voltage, or you call it primary voltage, let's write E primary, how much is coming is what? 4 volt. Okay, do not confuse what negative. Negative tell you that is induced EMF. Okay, just 4 volt. Then we need output, so we can write K, because these both number of turns are given, so you can write transformation ratio. K is what? Number of secondary to number of what? Primary, or you can also what? Voltage secondary by voltage primary, correct. These two things are given, which is given 1500 by what? 50. E secondary we need, and E primary what we calculated 4, correct, yes. So this goes what? 5 goes 3 times, 30 times. So E secondary means output voltage what? 120 volt will be your answer, correct. So flux equation given, you can differentiate, you find your EMF. That's what your input. Output you can write, because your number of the turns are given to you. Okay, yes. Let's see. Find the output voltage in the given figure. So all values are given in terms of picture. Number of primary given 100, number of secondary given 300. Input voltage given what? 10 volt. But this is what? This is a DC. Correct na? Battery given to you, right? DC means constant current is flowing, it will constant flux is produced, that will not induce any EMF, because for EMF to get induced we need what? A changing flux. So no flux changes with DC. So what is the output here? Output will be 0, means this transformer will not work for DC, right? No? So this is a DC battery connected to input. So output will be what? 0, keep in mind. Okay, look here. This is a small theory question, I forgot to tell you, so I wrote it here. That in an AC generator, how many times the direction of the current and voltage, both current and voltage also they can ask you, will change in one complete rotation of the armature. You have a coil and it's spinning, it's rotating inside what your, between your magnetic field in generator. Then how many times the direction of current will get changed, okay. So you suppose, they can ask like this one, suppose that coil is there, this is a coil, we have some coil, and this is rotating inside a magnetic field. Okay, here north south something. So I say the frequency of rotation of this coil is 50 hertz. Then they can ask you what is the frequency of the current. So remember, or they can ask you how many times the direction of current will change. Okay, let's see, focus on this first, these words. So if you rotate your coil once, how many times the direction of current will change? What is the answer? 2 times, because once AC means once a positive current will generate, okay, then next half rotation you will get negative current, right, opposite direction current, right. So direction of current changes what? 2 times in one complete rotation of the coil. Coil rotate by once, direction of current in the coil generated will be changed by what? 2 times, once positive direction, once what? Negative direction, 2 times. So they can ask like in terms of frequency also, that if frequency of rotation of the coil is 50 hertz suppose, then what's the frequency of the current? What is the answer, people? 100 hertz. That's all. Be careful, okay, this is very important. Okay, so all things we have done here with numerical. So this chapter is now completely over, okay, EMI. So please solve all the questions given to you in your worksheets, and if you have doubt, please put in the comment. I will help you. Thank you so much and have a good day. Bye.